Welcome YouTube. Today we're going to be doing SCP-507 Reluctant Dimension Hopper by covered by Mr. Illustrated. I got this recommended in my YouTube not recommendations comment section by somebody. I saw it was linked to the Song of Genesis, and so we're jumping on it just because it's something interesting and it's related to something I covered. So let's go see how that goes, you know? Let's get into it, you know? Before that, let me just say my intro. Don't forget to like, subscribe. I do cover this all on Twitch Live, so if you want to come by and be here for a YouTube video and, you know, be in the video and see the content early, you know, follow me on Twitch. Besides that, let's get right into it, you know? Not too long to move.
Good day everybody and welcome to SCP Illustrated, entry log 70. First of all, happy Christmas to you all, I hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to be looking at SCP-507, also known as the Reluctant Dimension Hopper.
Yeah.
I'm still not 100% confident with drawing faces and bodies, so bear with me for some of the drawings. This video does contain very minor implied injury, and other than
5 years ago. Why are these videos I'm watching off 5 years ago? It really does. Man, I don't like thinking about it.
than that, let's just get straight into it.
We're just gonna move on. Alright. Tell me about him.
The following data release has been authorized by the following council members and administration staff.
All staff, be advised that SCP-507 has shifted. Its location is unknown at this time. If SCP-507 should return within the facility, please inform security so they can escort him back to his quarters. If SCP-507 requires medical attention, do not attempt to do so yourself. Inform the security team. Regardless of his actions, mental state, or physical condition, do not physically touch SCP-507 at any time. Failure to comply with this instruction may result in displacement and/or death. As a result of SCP-507's anomalous properties. Thank you.
I'm assuming he either teleports you or part of your body that's touching him, which could cause harm to you.
Description: SCP-507 is a Caucasian male with blonde hair and green eyes, sporting no other outstanding characteristics besides being somewhat overweight and speaking with a vague accent of disputable origin. Although SCP-507 has an already established name due to its unremarkable upbringing, it seems to find entertainment in forcing those it meets to give it a nickname in lieu of divulging this information. Thus, SCP-507 will now respond to the names Tommy, Steve, Bruto, Guy, Houdini, and Grabnot the Destroyer.
Houdini. Of course, Houdini.
SCP-507 was originally recovered from the asylum when standard surveillance following repeated successful escape attempts brought its abilities to light. All records of this incident were confiscated, and SCP-507 was taken into custody under the pretense of moving it to a more secure facility.
Well, maybe he went crazy because of his... I don't care. Go away, Adobe. Overpriced program.
The original theory was that SCP-507 possessed some form of teleportation ability, as it would suddenly disappear and eventually reappear in a different location. Subsequent interviews with the subject to verify that its ability could be used in such a manner, but that it was merely a side effect of its main affliction. SCP-507 holds that during its periods of disappearance, it is actually displaced into a random alternate reality. The landscape generally stays the same, but the inhabitants and climate of the parallel world often do not.
Okay. I was about to say, man, I hope he doesn't get put in the Blender dimension.
SCP-507 also insists that it has no control over the time and duration of these shifts. This has more or less been confirmed by the subject being known to displace at inconvenient times, such as mid-sentence, while sleeping, or even while using on-site public facilities. If SCP-507 moves about in the alternate world, the eventual shift back will then place it at the corresponding area in our own reality. A sample list of SCP-507's descriptions of alternate realities can be found in document 507-00. Mentally, SCP-507 shows no large deviations from the psychological profile for a normal person. It has confessed to have always had a great interest in the paranormal and mythological, which has directly led to its eventual permission to interact with relatively harmless SCPs.
Okay. At least they give it.
SCP-507 especially enjoys meeting with other sentient SCPs, once going so far as to request a small vacation to visit SCP-082. The request was eventually granted after persistent pleading from SCP-507, and the meeting was thankfully uneventful. Special containment procedures.
At least they give him a little bit of freedom, I was gonna say that.
SCP-507 is allowed free roam of the facility, obviously barring anything that would breach security or safety protocols.
Okay, at least they give him a little bit of freedom.
Anytime SCP-507 leaves its private quarters, it must be accompanied by an agent, mostly at this point to make sure that it does not shift without the facility's knowledge. SCP-507 should not be physically touched if there have been more than 2 weeks since its last shift. The risks inherent in disobeying this protocol make the action its own punishment, should the issue of disciplinary measures ever come up. When SCP-507 undergoes a shift, faculty will be informed to keep an eye out for its eventual reappearance. It also has a tracking device implanted into it, and a daily signal check should verify whether or not SCP-507 has returned from its trip.
Okay.
If it reappears in or nearby the facility, SCP-507 will return to its quarters on its own. Otherwise, a retrieval team of 3 plainclothes agents may be sent to provide transportation back. Upon successful return, SCP-507 can be the subject of various physical tests up until 2 weeks after each shift. It is worth noting that SCP-507 is allowed a computer with an Ethernet connection in its room, and may petition to use Meet with ACT as a test subject for safe or Euclid SCPs that do not affect mental functions negatively or carry an infectious trait. This is the result of SCP-507's persistently clean record, and the implication that if SCP-507 was ever going to be a security leak, it would have used its faux teleportation powers to do so already. It is also worth considering that SCP-507 is actually below average in most physical traits.
Wow, calling him weak.
And that even worst case scenarios, any SCP agent should be more than capable of carrying out a termination order. Document 507-00.
At this point,
a sample list of SCP-507.
At least at this point we know it's like, okay. At least he has access to the internet and everything. It's not that bad.
Supposed extra-dimensional travels, along with any demands made by it after returning. Subject arrived in complete darkness, leading it to assume that the current location was indoors or subterranean. After fumbling about for a possible way out, the subject heard a sound akin to muted breathing nearby. The subject then decided to curl up in the nearest corner and wait it out, instead of risking a blind confrontation with an unknown creature. Request: a standard flashlight which it now always carries on its person.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
The subject appeared in a replica of the facility, although apparently fallen into disuse. Further exploration led to the discovery of various corpses strewn about the area, all heavily decayed and covered in an odd type of mould. Upon noting that the corpses seemed to rhythmically expand and contract as if still breathing, the subject attempted to leave the facility.
That's the one from the Song of Genesis.
This idea was quickly discarded when it opened an exit and found that the outside world was apparently coated with the same odd growth. Request: heavy doses of voriconazole and a fungal expert to help ascertain the nature of the mould. No exact match of the described mould was found, but it was noted to share many attributes with a certain type of cordyceps fungi. Upon reappearing, subject was reported to mutter, "So many spiders."
Wow.
Subject refused to elaborate. Request: a handheld firearm of any type. Request was granted under the stipulation that said firearm is specifically built to only use rubber bullets. Subject once again appeared in a pitch-black location with breathing nearby. Upon turning on its flashlight, subject was surprised by a man wearing a black business suit and sunglasses with an impossibly wide smile.
Creepy.
Said smiling man was apparently leaning in towards SCP-507 when it turned on the light, the end result being that their faces were almost touching. Smiling man then remarked, "Back so soon?" before the subject switched the light off again, discharged all the rounds in its firearm at the general vicinity of the man, and once more curled up into the nearest corner until shifted back into our reality.
That's creepy. It's
Request
creepy to say the least.
None. Those with level 2 security clearance may read a full list by accessing document 507-3B. Those with level 2 507 security clearance should also see interview 507G for evidence of a particularly noteworthy shift.
Oh, what happened?
Interview 507-G. Interviewed SCP-507, SCP-507. Interviewer Dr. Forward. During a daily signal check for SCP-507, 2 independent verifications were returned. The following investigation led to the discovery of identical SCP-507 duplicates in its assigned quarters.
That makes sense. If there's a dimension hopper on our reality, there should be for other identical realities to ours, there should be dimension hoppers for them. And that would make sense that one day, eventually, both of them, through the odds, would land in our reality.
Both apparently made their way to the room by themselves, and had spent at least half an hour conversing with each other upon meeting. The following interview took place between them and the first informed employee to reach their location. The duplicates have been each given an alphabetical for the purpose of readability. Begin log.
Hey Doc, welcome to the party.
I'm afraid you're going to have to explain this to me.
There's apparently more than one version of me with this problem.
Oh, I think it's okay, so they're telling us who's who, but I'm assuming they don't know who's who because we got 507A, which is I'm assuming the main guy, and B, who's the separate one.
Should have seen this coming, honestly. There's so many ways an alternate reality could differ without affecting my personal life, you know?
So, which one of you is the visitor? Is something wrong?
We've actually been talking about this for a bit. Now, you guys have been real nice to us. More than we might deserve, really. But we also know that this could be a rather enticing opportunity for your research department. It'd probably be best if you didn't know which one of us was...
Temporary?
expendable.
I don't know what kind of stories you two have been sharing, but our job is to secure and protect the likes of you. Perhaps this other reality has a less benign code of conduct.
They're pretty
Or
smart.
perhaps I can shoot fireballs from my mouth. We don't mean to be hurtful, but this place isn't the best source of human...
They're playing it smart. They're playing it smart because the ethics committee, what does it really do? There is no ethics committee.
compassion. I'm sure that there's at least one person on staff who would love breaking me open in an attempt to find out how all this freaky stuff works. If it wasn't for the fact that you couldn't keep studying me afterwards. Do you have to put it like that? I have enough things to keep me awake at night. Good God, I know. Once there was this guy with a huge-ass smile. You met him too? Nearly soiled myself. I wish I was that lucky.
You know, this could be interpreted as a security breach.
Who's the doppelganger you're going to report to? Alternate SCP? I'm fairly sure there's a better chance of a meteor striking this place than successful cross-dimensional sabotage. I've actually come across at least 3 dimensions where something fell from you're not helping. I rarely do. Anyway, where were we?
Well, now that our visitor has left, I have a question.
Alright.
Did you two figure out the difference between your realities?
Actually, I think we did. In his world, Abraham Lincoln was killed while sleeping by his vice president, instead of by General Lee.
In this reality, Booth assassinated Lincoln.
Oh. Whoops.
Oh no.
Closing statement. Subsequent testing revealed that SCP-507's abilities have no biological basing, and that severed pieces will still shift along with the main body.
Damn. Damn. They There is no ethics committee, am I right? They minced them.
The SCP-507 of this reality reappeared 3 days later, and has not been informed of this incident. Addendum 50700. Agent went missing on at the same time as SCP-507. A full-scale search was launched to find either of them, only for SCP-507 to appear.
Regarding the ethics committee, there is a video called Ethics Committee Orientation by the Volgan. Pretty short video, but I think you'll find it very interesting. I'll cover it later.
A week later. When questioned, it said that was holding onto its shoulder when it shifted, leading to both of them to appear in an alternate dimension where, during the ensuing chaos, SCP-507 lost contact with and could not relocate him before it shifted back into standard reality. A new protocol has been placed in light of this. No one is to come in physical contact with SCP-507 after 2 weeks following a displacement. Re-evaluation of previous incidents has shown that there has always been at least 2 weeks between each, so this time frame will be the only safe time to touch SCP-507 until further notice.
Okay.
Addendum 507-01. I don't care how much he grumbles about it, SCP-507 is not to be cleared for challenging SCP-076-2 to 50 rounds of tic-tac-toe. Just no. Doctor.
Why not?
Addendum 507-02. Fungus encountered by SCP-507 seems similar to that resulting from experimentation
Okay, here we got
with
it.
SCP-407.
Yeah.
And that concludes SCP-507. I hope you've enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you did. There is another part to this, which is an extensive list of all the places that SCP-507 has visited.
Okay.
I will do another video of that sometime in the future, but next time I'm going to be doing SCP-079, and that'll be with us soon enough. Be sure to check out all the social...
There's a SCP Infinite IKEA one. I've heard about the IKEA in a couple other videos and been referenced to the point. I'm very interested in, I'm actually going to add this to the watch this later playlist because I actually plan to cover this. Save the playlist. Watch the later YouTube reacts. There you go. Anyways, YouTube, I hope you guys all enjoyed this reaction. I gotta say, this is very interesting, I gotta say, sucks to be him. Sucks to be that other variant that got found out. He should have said something like very generic, nothing like big history. He should have just said, "Oh, all their water is flavored over there," you know, or something lies. Cause my boy got cut up and sold. My man got sold to the scientist. Oh, I feel so bad for him. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed my reaction. This was fun. And I will see you guys later, YouTube. Bye bye.